Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a classic graph problem. Leetcode 133, clone undirected graph. This one often pops up in interviews, and it's a fantastic way to solidify your understanding of graphs and traversal algorithms. This is one of the last remaining problems we are solving on Blind 75. In this problem, we are given a reference of a node in a connected undirected graph. Each node in the graph contains a value and a list of its neighbors, and we should return a deep copy, aka a clone of the graph. And what is a deep copy? It means creating a completely new independent graph with the new nodes using a constructor and then connecting them correctly instead of just copying the references to the original nodes. Let's look at an example to understand this. For example, here we are given this graph, and when we clone it, we can't simply return a reference to the original graph. That would just be a shallow copy instead of a deep copy. Similarly, we can't return this one. Even though the nodes themselves are new, the connections between them are wrong, essentially messing up the graph structure. But we should return this one. Here the nodes 1, 2, 3 and 4 are newly created with the nodes linked properly. So, how should we tackle this? Say we are given the reference to this node. The first thing we can simply do is clone this node. That is, we just create a new node with the same value using the constructor. Next, we need to do the same for the remaining nodes in the graph. We can traverse through the graph using depth first search DFS or breadth first search or BFS. Let's say we use DFS, but here is a catch. Node 1 has neighbors, node 2 and node 4. To finish cloning node 1, we need to attach its neighbors. But the clones for node 2 and node 4 don't exist yet. So we might think, okay, let's just run the traversal through the entire graph first, create all the clones and then come back to connect them. This effectively becomes a two-pass approach. But even here, we hit a wall. When we come back to connect clone 1 to clone 2, how do we find the specific clone we created for node 2 among all the new nodes? We need a way to link the original node to its new copy. So, to address this, we can use a hashmap to store the mapping from the original node to the clone node. The key will be original node reference and the value will be clone node reference. Also, it helps us solve another major problem, which is cycles. If we try to do this traversal without keeping track, we might go from node 1 to node 2 to node 1 again. Since we wouldn't remember that we've already cloned node 1, we'd create a second copy of it. This leads to infinite loops and a broken graph full of duplicates. In traversal algorithms, we typically use a visited set to track the nodes already visited, and this is what this map will additionally do for us. With this map, we can solve it in a single pass. If you are interested in the two-pass solution, it is also included in the code link in the description below. Let's see this in action with a depth first search DFS. We'll build the graph in a single pass. Imagine we are starting at node 1. We check our map. Have we cloned node 1? The answer is no, as it doesn't exist in the map yet. So we create clone 1. Crucially, right now we add the mapping from node 1 to clone 1 to our map. We do this before visiting any neighbors to handle any cycles that point back here. Next, let's visit neighbors of node 1, which are nodes 2 and 4. Let's go to node 2 first, and we check, is node 2 in our map? And the answer is no. So we create clone of node 2, and note that I am making a dotted line to clone 2 as it is not cloned yet. And then we add the mapping from node 2 to clone 2 to the map. Next, we visit neighbors of node 2, which are nodes 1 and 3. Say we first visit node 1. We check the map. Does node 1's clone exist in the map? Yes, it does. node 1 is already there. So we do not create a new node. Instead, we simply take the existing clone 1 from the map and add it to clone 2's neighbor list. This correctly closes the loop between 1 and 2. Do you see the magic? As we had already discovered clone 1, we just link it to clone 2. No need to clone it this time. Next, we continue to next neighbor of node 2, which is node 3. It's not in the map. So, we create clone 3 and add the mapping from node 3 to clone 3 to the map and visit neighbors of node 3, which are node 2 and node 4. Say we visit node 2 first and check the map for node 2 and it is there. So we link clone 3 to the existing clone 2. Since clone 2 is done, we continue to node 4 and check the map. Node 4 is not there yet. So we create clone 4 and add the mapping from node 4 to clone 4 to the map. Visit neighbors of node 4, which are node 1, node 3. Say we go to node 1 and since its clone mapping exists in the map, we connect node 4 to that clone. Next, we visit node 3 and in map, clone for node 3 exists. So we link clone 4 to clone 3. And now that node 4 is created, we have visited all the nodes. And so that means all the nodes are created. So DFS of 4 returns and we are back at node 3. At this point, I will connect the dashed line to node 4 as its cloning is now complete. Similarly, we will backtrack to node 2, linking 2 to 3. Finally, we backtrack to node 1, linking 1 to 2. Back at node 1, we have completed the recursion for its first neighbor, node 2. Now, we proceed to node 1's next neighbor, node 4, which is already in the map. So we simply link clone 1 to clone 4 and this concludes the cloning process. The time complexity of this approach is O of V plus E. Because we process each node V exactly once when we first create it. For every node, we iterate through its neighbors. This means across the entire run, we visit every edge E exactly once from each side. And the space complexity is O of V. For storing original to clone mapping in the hash map, we also need space for the recursion stack used by the depth first search. In the worst case, such as a graph that looks like a straight line, this stack depth could go up to V. Hence, the overall space complexity is O of V. Here is a quick code walkthrough of the algorithm we just talked about with Java code on the left and Python on right. First, within our solution class, we declare and initialize a hash map in Java or dictionary in Python called old to new map to store mapping of original to clone nodes mapping. Next, we enter clone graph function with a single node as input, which is the starting point of our graph. And the very first thing we do is handle some base cases. If the input node is null, there is nothing to clone. So we simply return null. Next, we check if node is already a key in our old to new map. If yes, it means we have encountered this original node before and have already created its clone node. In this scenario, we just return the clone node that's already stored in our map. Else, if the node is not yet cloned, we create a brand new clone node with the same value as the original node and add this mapping to the map. Finally, we need to populate the neighbors of the newly created clone node. We do this by iterating through each neighbor of the original node, and for each original neighbor, we recursively call our clone graph function. This recursive call will either create a new clone neighbor if it hasn't been cloned yet, or retrieve an already existing clone neighbor from the old to new map. The clone neighbor returned from the recursive call is then added to the neighbors list of the current clone node. Once all neighbors of the original node have been processed and their cloned versions are added to the neighbors of the corresponding clone node, we return our clone node. This recursive process continues until all reachable nodes and their connections have been faithfully replicated in the new graph. So that's all for this video. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an update. Your support helps me create more content like this. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.